Hello critters, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. Today I am going to talk about something a little related to some recent videos I made, or a recent video I guess, but that is about Tana Mongeau calling out Jojo Siwa on her comments on Colleen Ballinger. So yeah, there's a lot to unpack there, so let's just get right into it. So basically what I want to talk about today is Jojo Siwa. I made a video like yesterday or a few days ago about how she was on Howie Mandel's podcast and made some comments kind of calling the victims of Colleen Ballinger liars and making some other comments that everyone was kind of skeeved by, which is valid. I was also kind of like, what the fuck? I mean, a little more than kind of what the fuck, but basically that came out and everyone is really kind of pissed at Jojo Siwa right now. So Tana Mongeau came out with a podcast episode recently after that, and it was about her and Jojo Siwa kind of talking, being friends, all that kind of shit. But basically Tana Mongeau had to come out and say that this podcast episode was recorded a few months ago because a lot of people were getting pretty pissed at her about talking to JoJo and platforming her after all this big controversy happened with her defending Colleen. So basically, yeah, she had to make a kind of response. She made a comment in another video, like a little short video about kind of calling out. Well, Tana did. She made a comment. She made a video kind of coming out about JoJo and saying like, "Hey, I don't condone this. I want to stand with Trisha Paytas," which we know that Tana and Trisha are pretty close friends. I think. Well, I don't know how close they are, but they're friends. So basically, she mostly came out in defense of Trisha because Trisha had made a video recently also about JoJo's comments and how she was hurt by them. So Tana's big thing basically was saying, like, I stand with Trisha. This was a fucked up thing for JoJo to say, and Tana said that she would address it in like a future podcast episode, I think, maybe the next one. But so I guess we'll have to see what she says there. But yeah, not to mention, Tana thinks that it's kind of fucked up that JoJo is still friends with Colleen, and that's understandable. And we see that also, I just found out recently that JoJo had also made a video with Shane Dawson like 3 months ago, which, after everything, she made a video with Shane Dawson, or Shane Dawson made a video with her, where they're acting like besties again. And it's like, okay, she's gonna go and platform Shane Dawson as well. And also, the James Charles launch, she was there, so JoJo associated with those people as well. Well, Tana didn't really mention that is the thing, and I'm going to get into that a bit. But basically, first, I want to talk about why she wanted to make a comment on it, and I guess it's just because that we're kind of in the midst of the backlash against JoJo right now. Like, there's like so much fucking massive backlash against her, and so basically, it was like the absolute worst timing that Tana could have come out with this video. Like, if she came out with this video like a few months ago or a few months in the future when things have like settled down, maybe it wouldn't have been received as badly. But right now, we're literally right in the midst of people being mad at Jojo Siwa for her comments. So this is like really bad timing, and I kind of can't believe that she didn't really notice all the backlash against JoJo because it's been like kind of the biggest, not the biggest, but like it's been kind of massive news lately about her comments. But I'm wondering even if she did know and she's just kind of like backtracking on the backlash, I guess, right now. But yeah, it's just horrible timing, and I think it's also part of why Tana came out against JoJo. And so yeah, I think Tana basically felt like she had to denounce JoJo after all the backlash, and also to just like defend Trisha because that's her friend, and that's kind of valid. So I want to get back on the topic of James Charles's launch though, because I just mentioned JoJo having gone to that and how that was kind of fucked up. And I was saying that she platforms these people. She has a big pattern of platforming people who have been exposed for being creepy to minors. Like, this is a pattern now. It's more than a pattern. It's a kind of, what's more than a pattern? I don't fucking know. But she has platformed James Charles, Shane Dawson, and Colleen all in the past like 3 months after everything has gone down. And that's definitely something that is like bad. It's bad on her. But also, I want to talk about Tana actually still being friends with James Charles as far as I know. Like, so when I talk about James Charles's makeup launch, and I did mention Jojo going to that, I also mentioned in that video James went and delivered, like, hand delivered his makeup to Tana Mojo, and they were like acting like besties. And it's like, okay, Tana's gonna fucking be his friend still, I guess. Sure. Like, I mentioned that back then. I was like, that's weird. It's like she's one of the only celebrities that's kind of still being friends with him that I can really see. I mean, there's like a lot more that I can't really think of, but like one of the big people who hasn't really gone back on him. And this was, of course, she also posted snaps of her at Coachella with James. Like they were besties again, like they're fucking besties, they're friends. Like I don't know how close they are, but she obviously wants to support him and she can associate with him. I guess she thinks that she can. And back when the launch happened, I was like, it's weird that she's friends with him. But even with this new context now, that she's totally calling out Jojo for defending Colleen, but at the same time, she is still friends. Tana is still friends with James Charles, and it's just kind of suspicious. I think definitely in that she didn't really mention, of course, Jojo defending Shane Dawson or James Charles because it wasn't really related to what was going on. But I think that there has to be something to be thought about when it comes to Tana also being friends with James Charles, and she didn't mention that. And I'm wondering if there's almost motives behind her calling out Jojo here, because we're starting to see more backlash against Jojo Siwa for associating with these people, and I can, again, it's totally valid that there's backlash against her. I want to talk more about that. I want to talk more about her and Shane Dawson soon, because that's definitely something that is it's a lot. It's a lot that Jojo Siwa is actively supporting people still that we know, like, they have evidence against them for being shit people. And I'm wondering if there is an ulterior motive behind Tana kind of coming out against Jojo here. Of course, she's defending Trisha, but at the same time, I'm wondering if, like, she's trying to kind of cover herself for if more comes out about her being friends with James, like I'm talking about right now, in the future, if, like, that is something that is put against her, because I think that it's bad of her to associate with James Charles as well, because again, this is after everything, after all his apologies, after all his allegations against being creepy towards minors. So she's calling out Jojo for associating and defending someone who's being creepy towards minors, being Colleen Ballinger, but at the same time, Tana also associates with someone who was called out for being creepy towards minors. And it's just, there's something of hypocrisy, and I think that she does probably understand that it's hypocrisy, but at the same time, her hand was kind of forced to call out Jojo, because it was, again, it was absolutely terrible timing for her to come out with this podcast episode, and also just kind of trying to save her image, and trying to probably preserve her and Trisha's, like, connection, I guess, because if she didn't go against Jojo here, then I feel like Trisha would have also been hurt. Which is valid, because, like, it's really fucked up that Jojo is defending Colleen in the first place, but at the same time, I think it's fucked up that Tana still hangs out with James Charles, and I think it's, again, that in context, like, her hanging out with James Charles, I was like, okay, that's kind of shitty for her to associate with James Charles after everything. In the context, again, of her calling out Jojo for doing basically the same thing as she was doing. Of course, Tana hasn't come out and, like, at least as far as I know, been like, James Charles did nothing wrong, of course, but I think that there's something there to be thought about, and I think that hopefully when Tana talks about it on her next podcast episode, maybe she'll go more in depth about it, but I think that we just need to talk about how since it's, like, really hot to, not hot like sexy, but hot like, well, maybe a little sexy, but like hot, like, a lot of people are hating on Colleen Ballinger right now, and that's what everyone's doing right now, because everyone knows that Colleen is a creep, and you'll basically be, like, totally, like, fucked up if you try and defend Colleen or stand up for her or anything, and that's basically the big hot thing to do right now, right? But basically all the James Charles stuff has died down anyways, so I think that that's also why she is coming out against Jojo defending Colleen, but not, you know. I think that there's definitely something to be said about her trying to kind of push the narrative that she is against Colleen, because being with Colleen, of course, is, like, absolutely terrible. And also to kind of put herself on the side against associations with predatory people. But again, at the same time, she's friends with James Charles. So, I think that's about it. there wasn't really much to talk about. It was a very short video. I wanted to talk about more, but Tana's response was pretty short, so I guess maybe in the future I'll make another video once she responds a little more. And I don't know. I hopefully I'll make a video. I think I want to look more into again Shane Dawson and Jojo in the future because they did that collab recently and it was kind of fucky. And also I don't know, maybe trying to keep up with what the fuck James Charles is doing. Who knows? It's the holy trinity of Shane Dawson, James Charles, and Colleen Ballinger, and JoJo in the center of it all is just, it's absolutely fucking nuts. But anyways, that's about it. If you like my video, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 10K before the new year. I know it's like a big goal, but I'm having lots of fun making these videos. So yeah, I do art, as you can see. I do commentary. I'm hoping to do some longer form videos soon, like more documentary style things. So keep an eye out for that. And yeah, until next time, I'll see y'all later, critters. Bye.